StormSmart can enhance and protect your home 365 days a year. With our smart hurricane and lifestyle products designed to keep the inside in and the outside out. And our over 100,000 plus installations, local manufacturing, comprehensive warranty, and the largest service department in the industry. Are you ready? Call now or visit stormsmart.com to schedule your free in-home consultation today and get guaranteed installation before hurricane season.
Time, weather, and highways.
How you doing, everybody? I'm Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips. Heat, still the hot topic of weather conversation, right? Just smashed the previous record for rainfall in Tampa. It's still a very nice day. We've got some clouds out there, even a couple of sprinkles as another front rolls through the area. Most of us wake up to sunshine and then very warm temperatures in the afternoon. For temperatures, they're going up and they're staying up. Really nice forecast, especially if you're planning on going to the beach or the pool. Rain chances very slim. Another beautiful day in store. It's going to bring us a very high chance of storms. Some isolated showers across the area. Mother Nature likes to remind us that it isn't set by a calendar. We're always on it for you just in case things begin to pop.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A. Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by StormSmart. Get guaranteed installation before hurricane season.
How you doing, everybody? ABC Action News Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips here, and we are last second getting our guests mic'd up, our shot set up. It looks like that's actually happening right there. Dave, why don't you check the close-up shot of Tara too? People at home aren't seeing any of that, so you can go ahead and take camera 2. And I'll go here. Maybe you move her over a little bit. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, we are good. So let's jump back to where we were. And today we are going to be doing things a little bit different, actually a lot different. In about 10, 15 minutes, Kyle Berger's going to be here. We're going to be talking about Rays baseball. And hey, yeah, I got my socks on. Yeah, yeah, it's, you know, this is the way I roll. Ever since COVID, literally, when nobody was here, there were like 7 people in the station, if that, and no management was around. So I'm like, all right. So I walked around with those shoes on for years, and it just kind of stuck for a period of time. Folks, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the weather, but let's be real honest. It's going to be sunny for the next week. So there's your forecast, right?
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit more, as we do in DPL Plus, about what's happening in the community, because that's a big part of what we do on our Wednesday night show. And we are here, as you see on here, we have Tara and we have Denny, both of which from the Gasparilla Festival of Art. So, Denny, let's start with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Appreciate you having me. Yeah.
And here's the best part. So does anybody guess where Denny is right now?
You can guess where I am. You get a Rule Number 7 merch.
Hey, don't be giving us stuff. That stuff's like gold. What do you think you're doing here? No, I will tell you, Denny is at the Magic Kingdom with his daughter. And you're in Tomorrowland right now?
Yep. Magic Kingdom. So.
All right, so that is dedication, because the Gasparilla Festival of Arts is this upcoming weekend. Now, how long, and by the way, Tara, you've been on the show with us before.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, how many years have I been working with you guys? Like maybe 4 or 5 years?
I think we're coming up to the 5th year. Yep.
We did all of the live streaming stuff together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so 5 at least.
So let's go ahead. We have everybody here. I'm just going to kind of be out of the way here. We'll start with Tara and Danny. You guys kind of combine it. So tell the folks what the Gasparilla Festival of Arts. I will tell you, I'm lucky to do a ton of events throughout the year. This is my favorite event of the year. It is a blast. The weather's going to be perfect. The folks are amazing, and it all is for a great cause. Absolutely. And it's a blast. So why don't the two of you guys just kind of make believe you're having a Zoom meeting for the GFA and talk about what folks can expect, and I'll just kind of sit back and watch.
I mean, we do a lot of Zoom meetings, right, Denny? A lot of coordinating. So I'll kick us off real quick. So this is a 55-year-old art festival happening in our community. It is free to attend. We do have a ton of different family-friendly activities. We're really proud of our art collectors and training program. along with our emerging artist program, not to be outdone by the 250 artists that are in attendance. So come, it's a great day, enjoy, see Dennis Phillips and the amazing entertainment lineup that Denny will talk about. And yeah, a lot to do and see.
And Denny, that's when I met you. I mean, by the way, a couple of things. Let's go ahead and take the, we got the 2-shot here. You still have my lawn chair from last year, right?
Oh, it's coming. I got you. I got Dennis's lawn chair. I've been using it for open houses. It's been great.
So for some reason, I left my lawn chair there when I was leaving last year. And Denny's like, dude, you left your lawn chair, but I'll keep it till next year. I'm like, all right. So you have my lawn chair. But Denny is in charge of over the years, he's been in charge of the entertainment. And I will tell you, this man runs a tight ship. Because if there's an act that's supposed to go on at 2 in the afternoon, if it's 2 and 30 seconds after, come on, guys, let's get going. And so when you look at the lineup this upcoming weekend, rest assured, it will be the time that it's supposed to be. So tell folks what they can expect and a little bit more about where and how and when and how you get there.
Yeah, of course. So the viewers at home, I'm a big Dennis Phillips fan. I'm sure you are too. This is a great event to come up and see him. He's at the main stage all weekend long. You just follow the music. You'll be able to meet Dennis Phillips. He's always there taking selfies. We are so blessed to have Dennis Phillips year after year. We are so excited to have him. So this year, our entertainment is going to be blowing the roof off. We've gone more international. We have a entertainer from Puerto Rico. I found her on NPR Tiny Desk. And her name is Fabiola Mendez, and she is absolutely incredible. We have a group from Uganda, East Africa. We have a group from New York coming down. And also we are supporting all local Gainesville, Orlando areas as well. So we strive for all original music. So when you're there, you're going to be able to enjoy their music, their production, no covers, and it's going to be a great time.
And by the way, I want to mention, so Denny talked about the selfies. There was a little thing going on last year. I think, was it Saturday or Sunday?
We had over-under on how many selfies we were going to get.
Yeah, there was an over-under. And I had done a few, and I go something like, guys, I guarantee you I'm doing over 100 selfies. And Denny's like, no way, that's not going to happen. And I go,
$100.
the over-under's at 100. And within what?
A couple hours,
we were at over 100 selfies.
Sure.
So
you want to meet Dennis, come to the event. Yes.
But I mean, honestly, and Tara, we were talking about this. By the way, Danny, she can't hear you and you can't hear her. No, I guess you can hear her, but she can't hear you. But
Gotcha.
The thing about it is, quickly, what can folks expect in terms of seeing the art? And it's the kind of thing that they can bring home, the art that they see.
Yes.
And there's a lot of cool stuff for little kids. Like my daughter, Ryan, she was 6 when she first went, and you had a little area for just kids.
Yeah.
And they go in and they can pick what they want.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, there's professional artists, 250 professional artists that you can see all of their work. We have this newly expanded local artist spotlight section, which is also exceptional, along with our emerging artist program. But for the kids, art collectors in training has become such a hit. So kids get to go in without adults and purchase art that speaks to them. And it really helps them sort of cultivate a love and appreciation for art. We have a whole kid area too. So Carmada and the kids stage, Denny, I hope he mentioned our kids stage, which is awesome. The Nomad bus is gonna be there along with a sponsored program by Tampa Museum of Art just for kids too.
Well, and go ahead and Denny, go ahead and tell people the time, the location, and all the details. And what about parking? Because parking is, usually a little tricky.
Yeah, so it's going to be at Julian B. Waterfront there. We'll have two stages there. On the north side, you'll find the main stage. When you're on the south side, it's going to be an all children's band. We have School of Rock Tampa and Chris Camado Music.
School of Rock was there last year, weren't they?
Yes, and they kill
awesome. I mean, I actually walked over there, all the way across the grounds just to see them, and they were spectacular.
So good.
Yeah, and that's not at the bandstand area, right?
They have their own
No,
stage.
there's going to be, and we've updated their stage. We got them a bigger stage this year. So it's going to be rocking both sides of the festival grounds. So,
And so again, tell folks again about parking and what are the costs and whatnot.
So
Sarah,
we
go
do
ahead.
have several different parking options. Everything is fully updated on our website. We even have parking shuttles from the different parking garages and areas. There is quite a bit more parking than people realize. So go online, check out our socials. The regular festival is free. A majority of the activities for the festival are free.
And what about the times?
So the times are 9 to 6 on Saturday and 10 to 5 on Sunday. We do still have VIP tickets available as well, which gets you closer to the action and closer to Dennis Phillips.
Well, I will tell you, the VIP area is really cool because, first of all, lots of great food.
Yep.
You know, it's shaded. There's comfortable seats and that whole 9 yards.
Lounges.
all you can eat, all you can drink.
All you can eat, all you can drink.
yep.
It's really a good deal, and it's one that, especially when the sun's out all day, even if it's not, the sun can get you a little bit at this time of the year. I mean, it can surprise you.
Yep.
So again, it's this weekend. And what was the website again?
It's GasparillaArts.com. So www.GasparillaArts.com. You can find us on every social outlet as well.
Okay, and you guys will be there all weekend as always.
We'll be there all weekend.
And quickly, Denny, what about the headliners? Because you're usually by the way, is Michael and all those guys going to be there as well? I mean, all those.
Oh yeah, we have a good crew this year. We're going to have 6 or 7 of us. So we keep adding
Is Michael
more.
bringing his sunscreen?
Yes, he's going to be fine sunscreen.
There's this guy, he's a redhead, and he, and let me tell you, he gets I've never met anybody so sunburnt in my entire life. I mean, and he slots on all the sunscreen. It doesn't do any good. The guy gets absolutely fried. So wear your sunscreen. And by the way, when are the headliners and who are they?
So Fabiola Mendez is going to be performing at 3 o'clock. She's coming from Puerto Rico. We have another great band from Gainesville called Priscilla. They are very young, energetic with a saxophone player. She's awesome. So we do have yoga in the morning as well. Yoga is going to start at 9 a.m. And that does have an accompanied solo artist. So both days you can come for yoga from 9 to 10 to start off the festival as well.
Yeah, and that's actually something because the start time, it gets going later in the morning into the afternoon. But if you want to maybe avoid some of the crowds, which Denny talked about. I mean, yes, the yoga starts at 9, but the artists, Tara, are there and open, right, at that time?
Ish. Yeah.
So
9
9
on Saturday. Yes. Yeah. They are technically there. Yes.
So I mean,
it's a good time. To your point.
If you want to beat the crowds, because now I love the crowds. I'm big into chaos. So I mean, when there's tons of people and everything, it's a blast for me. I will tell you a story, and Denny, you remember this because Denny's mom was my muscle. So
my 5-foot mom.
Yeah, his 5-foot mom was my muscle, and I say this because I was going around and I was doing some interviews for GFA. And there's this really nice guy, a Hawaiian guy, was in his 70s, and they had me interview.
Tony.
What was it?
Umared Ithrong, Tony.
Okay, yeah. And so I'm there, and I'm interviewing him. And some joker sees me interviewing this guy, and he just sticks his head into the tent and yells, "Fake news! Fake news!" And I'm like, dude, I'm a weather guy. Of course, I lie half the time anyway. That's what I do for a living. And Bobby, his mom, little Bobby, like Wendy Ryan size, she's like, all right, leave our guy alone here. I mean, it was awesome. So
Bobby doesn't mess around.
No, she's tough. So anyway, without the drama, it is truly a great event.
Great event.
And
Volunteer run,
yep, and also a lot of scholarships that go on as well, right?
We do, yes, yeah. One of my other favorite parts, they're all my favorite parts, but we do give away several scholarships along with money to different departments, arts departments, so arts education for our local schools, along with direct scholarships to collegiate art students.
Well, I say this, I'm not just saying it because Tara and Denny are here. Denny's given up his, I'm going to let you go, Denny, because I know your daughter's probably like, Dad, what are we doing? I want to go ride Space Mountain. But and literally, he's at Tomorrowland right now. But It's a great event. It's free to come. I mean, if you want to.
You just showed her.
Did you show?
Yeah, she's going over Space Mountain.
Oh,
She's so cute. She comes to our committee meetings.
oh, that is awesome. Well, but it is a wonderful event, and it's really fun to find a little piece of art or, whatever, and, and bring it home with you. And it's just, the volunteers are unbelievably. Everybody's smiling. It's a great time. So it's Julian B. Lane, Riverfront Park. It's right on the river, right across from UT and the Straz in that little area right in there. And again, parking, you said, is available, but there is shuttle as well.
There are shuttles from various parking along with other areas close to the park. So you can park a little further away, take a shuttle, or even hop on the river taxi, or you can take an Uber. We have a designated Uber rideshare area for drop-off too, and different parking lot options, including Blake High.
Well, and the weather's going to be perfect. So I'll be doing some live hits from there as well.
Merch.
And you get the, nice.
Yep.
So I will be there, Tara will be there, Denny will be there. I'll be over the bandstand. You'll hear me because I give announcements throughout the day. But come on over and say hi. And it's Saturday and Sunday. And again, the website is?
GasParillaArts.com.
There you go. So Tara, thank you very much for coming by.
You.
And Denny.
Hey, thank you so much. Looking forward to a good weekend with you.
It's going to be, the weather's going to be
the best
perfect.
weekend ever.
It's going to be absolutely great. So, so thank you very much. And we will see you guys on Saturday.
Yay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and so Kyle is now coming in. Kyle Berger is here, and you're going to give him your mic.
Okay.
We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can go over there and give him the mic. And I'm just going to do, we're still on weather right now, so we're good. And I'm going to do a little bit of weather. Oh, Bobby is here. Bobby just said, Bobby is watching, and she's like, so again, Bobby is the muscle. Security will be there. So there you go. Perfect. So anyway, let's do quickly the forecast. It's looking great. Tomorrow I will be live along with Paula Groen at the Florida Strawberry Festival. So great weather for the festival and great weather for spring training. And I mean, I'll go ahead and show you the forecast right now because honestly, I mean, we're looking just amazing. Today we hit the low 80s. Tampa right now, 68 and partly cloudy skies. We have a front coming through late tomorrow, but it's not going to be bringing us any rain. I mean, so here, I'm going to show you the 7-day because it's pretty simple. There it is right there. 77 and sunny on Thursday, 75 on Friday, 73 on Saturday. Great weather for the Festival of Arts. Into next week, up around 80. We do have a front coming in next Wednesday and Thursday. And actually, I'm going to I'll quickly show you a look as I end the Zoom here with Denny. And I'm going to show you a quick look at the models. And then we will jump into sports. We got everything going on here. All right, here you go. So there's a look at the GFS. And if you look at, there's the front come through. There's nothing, no rain with it, 0. And then you look at up north, there's the 540 line. There's the cold air. So it only makes it into, like West Virginia and the Carolinas. And then some snow over the weekend, a little area of low pressure, a little clipper on Saturday for New York and New England. Some light snow there. And then you see as far the 540 line, the blue line right there, that gets down to North Carolina. That's on Sunday. So we'll have a little cooler air here. It'll be beautiful, low to mid 70s. Then we look in the middle of next week. All right, there's Tuesday. High pressure to our east means warmer, muggier air. And then by the middle of the week, there's a front. That front is going to bring us the chance of some showers on Thursday. There's the GFS. We'll look at the Euro in a second. And back behind it, there's the cold air. So if you remember, about a week ago, we were showing you this, and it's still bringing another round of cold air next Thursday and Friday. The Euro, let's see if it shows the same thing. That was the GFS. Now, the Euro is a little different. Look at the snow across the Tennessee Valley. It develops a second low. So there's the first one, just like the GFS next Wednesday. But then it develops a secondary low. That swings across with maybe some winter weather for the deep south next Saturday. And then a possible another front for us. So that's the difference. The GFS clears us out next Thursday, and then no rain through next weekend. The Euro brings another area of rain. But besides that, the forecast is looking beautiful for spring training. And here you go. We have Kyle Berger here. Last time Kyle was here, we were talking about what were the Super Bowl predictions, talking about your trip to
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Super Bowl in Tokyo. Are we in, you said spring training. Are we in spring? It's not spring yet, is it?
Spring officially begins like March 20th-ish, but meteorological spring starts March 1st. So like Friday?
Yeah,
No.
I was in Bradenton today for the Pirates and Orioles. Weather was perfect.
Was it gorgeous?
Yeah, very nice.
So if you have questions for Kyle, right here on the side here, I am going to, we'll be sure to answer them. But so I will tell you what I just did, and I told Kyle about this. So the Rays are playing at Steinbrenner this year, right? And they are playing the Dodgers August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, it's loaded.
I mean, it's going to be a fun series. And single game tickets have gone on sale. The code to get single game tickets before the general is burst. And, you know, I don't know, whatever. I
B-U-R-S-T.
B-U-R-S-T. So if you go on raysbaseball.com, I guess, or whatever, where you get and look at single game tickets, and they go on sale to the general population. See, this is the advantage of watching DPL Plus, because you get the codes before everybody else does, and you can go in and get tickets. I bought tickets for Friday and Saturday because seeing Shohei Ohtani, I mean, that's kind of a once-in-a-generation player.
Yeah, I got to see him when the Angels came to town a few years ago. I'm in the clubhouse, and Shohei, his whole entourage walking by, and I was like, he's huge.
Yeah.
It's Shohei. And then Mike Trout comes by, and those guys are good.
I mean, we don't get the opportunity to see them very often. I was looking at Yankee Stadium, actually, because I was wondering if the Yankees were going to host the Dodgers this year, and they don't, because I looked. Because I was going to be in New York, and I actually won a silent auction, the IMC, to function last year. And the silent auction was 4 tickets to see a Yankees game against any team that you want in the suite. And I got it for like $400. It was a steal, right? So I'm looking, I want to see when the Dodgers. Yeah. They do not play the Dodgers at home, but they do here. So it's Steinbrenner Field, August 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. The Rays are taking on the Dodgers. You can buy single game tickets now, and remember, it's a much smaller stadium, so
11,000 seats.
Yeah.
They're going to sell out every game.
Yeah, you would think so.
The Rays averaged 16,000 a game at the Trop, and they had some good days, some bad days, but now that we're in Tampa and locally centralized, all the neighborhoods, they're going to sell out every game. So it's a hot ticket this year.
And outdoor baseball, there's the folks, and that's kind of a polarizing thing, because there are some people, diehards, who look, I like my 72 degrees. I like it when it isn't raining. I like it when it's not humid. I don't want to sweat my butt off. I want it to be really enjoyable. I understand those. And there's other people like me that don't mind the heat and humidity, and I feel like that is outdoor baseball the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm worried about I love my soft serve. I'm going to eat it faster now. Like in 72 degrees, I can take my time.
Well, I go to a lot of minor league games. Like I go to the Threshers games all the time in the summertime over in Clearwater. And Jason Adams and the folks over there, not Jason Adams here, the meteorologist, Jason Adams, the GM over there, they have an amazing, it's a great facility. They have fireworks all the time. It's really family friendly. So I spend a lot of my weekends over watching the Threshers play. And the tickets are so cheap. I mean, and it's outdoor baseball. Yeah. I prefer that, but I get it. Anyway, point is, Steinbrenner is outdoor baseball. So you're going to...
Speaking of the heat, like the Rays introduced the City Connect jersey last year.
So cool.
The black jerseys. So they normally wore those on Saturdays last year. And most of the Saturday games are like 4 o'clock starts in the heat of the day. But they've moved these jerseys to Tuesdays and Fridays for night games now. And they moved the Devil Rays throwbacks, which are white, to Saturdays, which are sometimes day games.
And of course, there is the big question is, what about rainouts? So, there's probably going to be some rainouts. There probably will be. I mean, an outdoor game from July, August, September. But the Rays did adjust their schedule, didn't they, somewhat?
Once we get to that rainy season, they moved them from like a 6:40 start to like a 7:30 start. So they can maybe dodge some of those showers that come around every summer day and maybe lessen some of those rainouts. But I mean, the Tampa Tarpons, that's their home stadium. They played there, during the summertime, so they've dealt with it. So I mean, I think the biggest thing is they're going to have to train our grounds crew how to roll a tarp now. That's going to be new for them. And
you wonder how they will make up those games, because I mean, when we get in look, what are we going to do? We had a hurricane hit the Trop. I mean, is just bad luck, right? There's nothing you can do. They made the best of it. It is going to be interesting, though, because that March 31st deadline is coming up.
Yeah.
You know, with the deadline imposed by the Rays, correct?
Right.
No,
yeah.
no, by the county.
Yeah, the county.
By the county. Tell the folks a little bit about that.
Oh, it seems like it changes every day. Like, yeah, there's a March 31st deadline by the county for the Rays to I believe, sign over these bonds to get the stadium built. This thing has been, I don't know where to start. It gives you like a headache. Figuring out where the Rays are going to play next year. Is it going to be in St. Pete? Is Nashville? Or, I mean, they're not going to get a better deal than what they have. I believe the county's given like $700 million to build the stadium with Stu Sternberg, but we're still waiting for them to sign these bonds. So, and there's also rumors now there's a Tampa-based group that wants to bring them to Tampa. So we're at the point now, will they stay? Will Stu sell? I don't see the Rays or Major League Baseball wanting the Rays to leave a top market like this.
Not going to happen.
We're a 11-size market.
There are a couple things going on, and we were talking about this last week. So there was a story that came out, Tampa Bay Business Journal, I think, and Mark Topkin, who's the beat reporter for the Times for the Rays. And Mark's been around forever. And I mean,
he's been around since this team started, '98.
Yeah, as was I.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, my son's still on the Wall of Fame, one of the original inductees of the Wall of Fame, because he was named after one of their original draft choices. If you go to the Trop, well, no more, I guess. But if you went to the Trop and looked over in the Rotunda area, there was a little thing called the Devil Rays Wall of Fame. And the very first year inductees, there were 6 of them, and one was named Shea Phillips. Baby Ray was his name, his nickname, and that was my son. And I named him after one of their original draft choices, Shea Gunner. And so, I mean, we are a Rays family and have been from day one. But as I was saying, Mark Topkin and some other folks have, you know, there has been a lot of discussion and, as you said, a lot of up and down, a lot of back and forth, a lot of rumors, you know, whether they're going to stay, whether they're going to go to Tampa, whether they're going to sell. The one thing I am very confident in, and I know people here were talking about Charlotte and Raleigh and Nashville and Orlando or whatever. Kyle just hit the nail on the head. We are a top 15 television market, all right? People don't realize we're bigger than Orlando. We're bigger than Miami. We're bigger than Jacksonville. We are the biggest TV market in the state of Florida, and we're the top 12, 13 in the country. Do you really think Major League Baseball is going to give that up to a significantly smaller market? Might another city draw a little better? Maybe.
My only concern is like the Oakland Athletics left.
But they have San Francisco right across the river.
It's market 10.
Right across
yes,
the bay.
you have 2 teams. So yes.
And I think that is the difference.
Yeah.
When you have San Francisco across the bay, they're not losing baseball fans. They'll probably switch from Oakland to the Giants, if you will. But I might be wrong, but I would be shocked. I would be completely befuddled if this team were to leave Tampa. And my point is, in that article that I was talking about, they were quoting Rays management, brass, saying, we're not going anywhere. We're staying. But the one quote that they said, they didn't say, we're staying in St. Pete. They said, we're staying in the Tampa Bay area. And I thought that was an interesting quote. And we'll see how that plays out as that deadline approaches.
Yeah, March 31st. I mean, I can't wait for it to get here. It's must-see TV when this goes down to see what's going to happen, because I mean, it's big for our area. I mean, we can't lose baseball. There's no way we're losing a Major League Baseball team. Would love I live in Tampa, so I would love for them to come on this side of the bridge, but you know, I just don't want them to leave the area at all.
Yeah, and I like I said, I just don't think it's going to happen. But that's just my opinion. So for streamers, again, you'll be leaving in a minute. Kyle's going to hang out here a little bit longer, and we're going to talk more. So if you want his take on the upcoming season, on not just the Rays, but Major League Baseball in general, tune into my Facebook page. I'm also right now on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. We're streaming. The only thing I'm not streaming on right now is Twitter or X, because they want me to pay $8 a month and I'm not doing it. So it's a principle thing. For me to be able to stream on X, I have to pay like $8 a month to get verified, and I don't know, there's something about that just rubs me the wrong way. So I'm not streaming on TikTok. I'm sorry, on X right now, but everything else I am. So again, point being, me, Paul Lagrone, we're both going to be live tomorrow at the Strawberry Festival in Plant City. We'll be there between 4 o'clock and 6:30. Going to be a lot of. Have you been to the Strawberry Festival before?
I have never been.
Oh,
never been to the fair. Never been to the Strawberry Festival.
You gotta go.
I keep missing out on the free ticket giveaway the station does.
Yeah, they have some, right? I don't get that either. But anyway, that's coming up tomorrow. So check us out tomorrow. I will be back probably 7:30, 7:45-ish tomorrow. So we'll have DPL tomorrow a little bit late, and we'll talk more about the weekend forecast. Streamers, have a great night. We'll see you on our next edition. Okay, so Facebook folks are still here. Ryan says Tampa is a hockey town. Now that we're not on streaming and with the station stuff, it can get a little controversial. By the way, thank you, Paula, for the stars. All stars are donated to Children's Miracle Network. So very kind.
Ryan, the Lightning have won 6 in a row.
Have they?
Yes, they are hot. Like, you may have forgotten because they had that 2-week break, but yeah, they've won 6 in a row. The Bolts are on fire right now. They play Calgary, I believe, tomorrow night here at Amalie.
So Michael asked, what are your thoughts on the Phillies' Philadelphia still store from last year's implosion? So I guess he wants to know what your thoughts are on the Phillies in the NL East.
Oh, well, I love Bryce Harper. Absolutely love.
He's hurt. I just saw that he's hurt.
He seems
I literally just saw it on ESPN a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
I don't think it was a bad injury, but you're right. He's off.
I love the gritty player like that.
But is anybody?
No one's beating the Braves.
Well, I was going to say, is anybody going to be the Dodgers?
Okay.
I mean, I just
you like win totals, so I printed the win totals before he came out here.
Okay.
So they had the Dodgers at 103.5. That's a lot.
103.5 wins. So in other words, if you were to bet that, you are betting that the Dodgers would either get 104 wins or greater, or they would be less than 103.5 wins. And I would probably take the over on that.
And here we go with the Braves and Phillies. They have the Braves at 93.5 and the Phillies at 91.5. So they have the Braves and Phillies going toe-to-toe here.
That'll be fun. And, and don't forget the Mets.
And the Mets are right there at 90.5. So the NL East is stacked with the Braves, Phillies, and Mets.
And sometimes you wonder if those teams beat each other up in the regular season, and then how much do they have left for the playoffs?
And that's what we see from the Rays division, the AL East, the Rays, Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles now.
Yep. The thing about the Dodgers is they got better. They picked up that other Japanese pitcher.
Yeah.
Can't remember what his name is, but he's a stud.
Sasaki.
Yeah.
I was in Tokyo when that happened.
And he's a beast.
Yeah.
So their starting rotation is that guy. And you got Blake Snell. They signed Blake Snell, formerly of the Rays.
Still Tyler Glasnow, I believe.
Glasnow.
The Rays.
You got Clayton Kershaw, who re-signed with them if he stays healthy. And then you got, oh, by the way, Ohtani was a starting pitcher who pitches awesome as well. So, look, I don't know. It frustrates me that baseball still allows teams to spend the way that they do. And Anna Maria, you're going to know where I'm going with this one. That's the way the Yankees were for the longest time. The Yankees just spent all that money and just bought themselves pennant after pennant back in the 70s and in the 80s. There is a salary cap, but is there really a salary cap?
Yes, it's a luxury tax.
I mean, exactly.
And they can pay it.
Yeah, so not technically a salary cap.
By the way, Rays win total, if you are curious, I believe they're at 81. Yeah, 81.5 is what the bettors out there think.
81.5.
81.5. And last year the Rays were 80 and 82, so just under that. But they had so many injuries last year. If this team stays healthy, they should blow past 81.5.
Yeah, and I think that's the key because the Rays have had. Everybody gets injuries. That's baseball. But the Rays starting pitchers.
I've never seen anything like it
for
any team.
Yeah, I mean, now and you have to wonder, is that just bad luck? Or is there a reason?
Something, yeah.
There's something in the mindset. Maybe not. Maybe it's just bad luck. But you could also maybe make the argument that for whatever reason, the way that those pitchers are used does that make them more susceptible to getting injured? I'm not saying that's the case, but as you said, he's never seen anything like it.
No.
And that starting rotation was destroyed by injuries last
And they could be, if they stay healthy, they could be one of the best rotations in baseball.
Yeah.
Because Shane McClanahan's back. Two-time All-Star. He's
USF guy, right?
USF guy, yeah, he's back. Then you go Taj Bradley, Ryan Pepio, who's a good young player who they got in the trade for Tyler Glasnow, who is, I think, a Glasnow 2.0, Ryan Pepio.
Yeah.
Drew Rasmussen's back. Shane Baz, if he stays healthy, he was supposed to be a young, hot prospect, but he's out.
Well, he was part of the. He was part of the other guy with the Glasnow trade.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Archer, was that the Chris Archer deal?
when Archer went to Detroit, I can't remember.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
the
But it
Rays
was
got
but it was
Glasnow
Glasnow and they
Shane
got
Baz.
Boz. And Boz went to the minors, but the kid threw 100. I mean, well, then again, everybody throws 100 now, it seems like. But he had some issues with his arm, and I believe he got Tommy John, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
Yeah. So, you know, as do a lot of the pitchers these days. But I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at the AL East and then the AL in general and the NL, are there any teams that you look at that you personally are like, all right, you know, besides the Dodgers, that are maybe up-and-comers that might surprise some people?
You always look at the Orioles. The Orioles kind of been on the cusp the last couple seasons, so they're one of those teams as well. Besides the Dodgers, Yankees, I mean, those teams are always going to be there. But I mean, I think the Orioles have a shot. But that AL East, everyone's going to eat each other up.
Yep.
So that's what I hate. Difficult thing with baseball. It's the same teams we see, the teams that spend usually. And unless you get a team like the Rays that can come out there and do something different to try to sway it a little bit.
How's the offense looking on that team?
Well, they didn't make any big moves in the offseason, as usual, so they had trouble scoring runs last year.
Well, they picked up that San Diego Padre shortstop.
He's going to be out.
$29 million.
He's going to be out for
till May, I think.
$29 million for over 2 years. Yeah, 3-year deal.
I think it's 3.
He has an option after the first year. But the Rays have Carson Williams, a young, good prospect at shortstop. So Hyun Kim is going to be like a bridge, basically. But they got rid of Jose Siri, so they're hoping Johnny DeLuca can have some offense in center field.
He's a fun player to watch.
DeLuca, I love DeLuca.
Yeah.
He's a great personality.
High energy.
Yes, California kid, loves surfing.
Yeah.
So then they got, let's see. Josh Lowe is the big one. That's the big X factor because he was really good in 2023. He was injured, of course, last year, so he wasn't very good. So if they can get Josh Lowe back right again, he could be he can be like a 30 home run, 30 steals guy.
And then you got Brandon Lau.
Yes, okay, you got your lefties.
Same spelling, different.
You got your lefties in that stadium, the short porch
at
Steinbrenner.
Now, that's interesting.
So it's like a 10-foot difference. It's 10 foot shorter than it was at Tropicana Field. So these lefty hitters can do some damage. So I'm trying to coin a catchphrase for these guys. So you had what was it, Canseco and McGuire, what were they called back in the Oakland days?
The Bash Brothers.
How about the Mabry Mashers? Dale Mabry, someone's going to park one on Dale Mabry. It's not that far from the wall to the actual street.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani's going to put one on Dale Mabry.
Yeah, and I'm going to be there because I told you, like I said, go to RaysBaseball.com. I'm telling you, you can use the code word BURST because tomorrow those tickets go on sale to the general public, and that game, that series will sell out like that.
You know, like in San Francisco, you see guys in McCovey Cove with the little canoes out there waiting for home runs.
The nets,
You're going to see people on Dale Mabry with like bags going around trying to catch home run balls.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, that's kind of fun. I mean, I think that'll be fun to watch.
We haven't talked about Junior Caminero yet. He's the 21-year-old third baseman. He came up briefly last year. He could be really, really good. Like he's the next face of this franchise.
It's the Rays have always been the next phase, the prospect. I mean, that's unfortunately, you know, look, if you've ever read the book, The 2%, it's about the Rays, and it's how they have to be better than everybody else in just 2% of the overall scheming, if you will, to succeed. And they have been. Given the fact that this team doesn't spend money, given the fact that it has been an issue forever, that they always get rid of their names and their faces, and let's be honest, that's what bothers me about this team, to me. True baseball purists and the ones that are just looking for the wins, they realize that's the way this team has had to do it because they don't have the revenue, allegedly, supposedly, to buy big-name players.
And right now, Brandon Lau, he's here 8 years now, so he's kind of like the guy who's been here the longest, and he's hoping to be a lifelong Ray, so we'll see.
A lot of people did. You know, when I lost, look, my son's, as I just told you, my son is named after one of their original draft choices on the Wall of Fame. We had season tickets for the longest time. I let them go when they got rid of Evan Longoria. And was it a good baseball move? Probably, because Longo didn't do much in San Francisco or in Arizona, right? But in my opinion, I think the teams that flourish attendance-wise, it's not just about wins and losses. It's about having that player or a couple of players. And they always say it's not the name on the back. It is the name on the back with at least a couple of players, because you have Derek Jeter with the Yankees. You always have a player or two that is the face of that player.
And mine was Chipper Jones. Like, I grew up in Atlanta,
with the Braves,
and
right?
Chipper Jones was there for his entire career.
And fans, there is that relationship. I believe that to the. You will never convince me otherwise that it is absolutely essential to have one or two of those players that stay. Now, granted, the Rays, the whole Wander Franco debacle, I mean, that might have been the player if it hadn't played out the way that it did. You know, I would, in my opinion, they should have. I don't care if he tanked the rest of his career. Longo should have played with that team from the first day to the day that he retired. You will never convince me otherwise, and I don't care if the numbers don't show it. I believe the fan base needs and wants to see that. And if you don't have a team that's willing to keep a couple of players like that, I don't ever believe you will have the loyalty, the fan loyalty that you get with some of these other markets.
Yeah, you go to a Rays game, you see people with their jerseys, their T-shirts, and there's not like a common name anymore, because there's always that rotation.
Yep.
So yeah, the fans can't buy the jerseys if
they don't know half of the players. I mean, now, granted, they still have been incredibly successful with these no-named players. I mean, you got to give it up for Kevin Cash, and for that matter, you can argue management has done a great job with these prospects and with these not well-known named players.
Yeah,
who
Eric Neander, the GM, yeah.
They've done well. But I will argue until the day I die that you have to keep some of those names to develop a generation of loyal fans. I believe that to the bottom of my soul. I absolutely do. So, and in, you know, whether or not that happens with Stu Sternberg, whether or not you were talking about, you know, whether they sell the team, whether they move the team, whether they go to the Trop, whether they don't, I still believe you will have a lukewarm fan base until you have that kind of player that a little kid can. I have a picture of my son, Jake, who was maybe 5 or 6, or maybe a little older, maybe 5 or 6, and he was in line to get Longo's autograph. And he had a little Longoria on the back of his jersey. Those are the kids, and that's the generation that sees a player that they will hold on forever, and then they will teach their kids to be fans of that team.
It's funny, at 6 o'clock I had a story today with Alex Faedo, a Rays pitcher who went to Alonzo High School, and his mom sent me a picture of him as a little kid getting Carl Crawford's autograph at the Trop. So it's kind of come full circle. He, you know, pitched at Alonzo, went to UF, and now he's back with the Rays, and he's a lifelong fan.
And his son is a heck of a prospect, Carl Crawford, with the Phils.
Yes,
because I watched him in Clearwater, and I don't know if he's on the major league squad or not.
He played against the Rays whenever they played Phillies. What, yesterday? He was in the lineup. Yeah.
Oh, was he?
They had a bobblehead night for him last year.
I remember that.
I got that one.
Yeah. So anyway, point being, I have a feeling in the next 4 weeks there's going to be some clarity when it comes to this team and where it's going. And where that is, I don't know. But I mean, the county and St. Pete has given that deadline of March 31st, right?
Yep.
And I'm not reading, you know, a lot of, I mean, the Rays have been pretty radio silent in what they're planning on doing and where they're planning on going. So it's going to be an interesting 4 weeks. I mean, we'll just have to see how it plays out. So, anyway, so lastly, what would be your prediction for the Rays for this upcoming season? The over-under, what did you say, it was 80 and a half?
81 and a half.
81 what would you go over or under?
I'm going over.
You're going over?
I'm going to like maybe 88.
Oh, now, would that get them a wild card?
That might get you a wild card.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe 90 gets you a wild card.
Yeah, it's kind of close. So, look, the season starts about 4 weeks out, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
the division's so tough. The Red Sox got better. They just got Alex Bregman, who can hit the ball really well. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough division. Orioles are good. Yankees are good. Red Sox are good.
The AL East has always, you know, been a tough division to play when you have the Central, when
the White Sox
a 500 might win the division. Same with the West, for that matter. The AL West. I mean, you know, the Mariners were like that last year. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by.
No
As
problem.
always, the last time Kyle was here, we were talking Super Bowl, and I predicted and it was a cop-out, but it really wasn't intended to be a cop-out. I said I thought the Chiefs would win a close game because they're very good, and they were like 17-0 in one-possession games. But I also said if they don't win that game, they will get blown out by the Eagles. So granted, that's not really pounding my chest. Hey, what a great prediction. But that's exactly the way I played it out.
I said Eagles would win, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
I
didn't say blowout or close game, but yeah, okay, I was right.
Yeah, it was a blowout. So anyway, well, thanks for your comments, folks. And there's a lot of folks who seem to agree with us in terms of our thought with on the fan base.
Yeah.
You know, it drives me crazy when the national media calls out Rays fans for not supporting the team at the Trop. Let me tell you, there's a lot of support. You see their merch everywhere. You see people wearing Rays merch everywhere. You don't see a ton of people at the Trop prior to the hurricane, obviously. And you can argue, is it the distance? Is it there's no mass transit? You know, you go to Yankee Stadium, you got the subway. You know, in a lot of these major cities, you got mass transit. So, but I get it, a real fan says, look, I don't care. I would go to the games regardless. And honestly, I kind of agree with that perspective. But don't tell me that there's not a desire to follow and root for this team. And as you were saying earlier, I have a feeling, now granted, it's only 11,000 people, but I have a feeling it's going to be a very different feel at Steinbrenner this year.
And Tampa Bay in general is a hotbed for baseball. You look at all the prospects that come through. How many major leaguers are from our area? And like if you look at the TV ratings, the Rays ratings are in the top 5, top 10 of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Like people watch the Rays that we just don't always get there.
Right. So you can't say that there's not a fan base. There is a fan base. Yes, there's not a fan base that goes to the games, and that is a concern, obviously. But let's be honest. Major League Baseball or certain folks within it try to sell that, well, without these fans showing up, we don't make any money. The overwhelming majority of the money does not come from people sitting in the seats. It comes from broadcast revenue, and it comes from...
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to mention. Okay, so the Rays go to the World Series. Will MLB allow them to play a World Series in an 11,000-seat stadium?
Oh, geez, that's a great point.
That's what I'm rooting for now. Let's have a World Series in that little Matchbox stadium.
I didn't even think about that. That in
or have an ALCS between the Rays and the Oakland Athletics, who play
in
minor
Fresno
league,
or Eureka or whatever it is. Yeah.
Minor league park.
That's true. So anyway, so yeah, it's the season's coming up, and Kyle will be checking in from time to time as well, especially on Wednesday nights with DPL Plus. Sean Daly is going to be here. I believe it's March 12th. To talk about some new restaurants and whatnot in the area. But again, as we said in the first 15, 20 minutes of DPL Plus tonight, Gasparilla Festival of Arts this weekend, Julian B. Lane, Riverfront Park, that area right across the river from the Straz and the UT area. There's shuttles, there's parking, it's free admission. I'm emceeing, I'll be there the first Denny's gone, he's not listening. See, the first yoga person gets there at 9. He wants me there at 8 o'clock. There ain't no way I'm getting there at 8 o'clock when there's no one there. I don't even go to bed until 3 in the morning, but I will be there by 9 a.m. and hopefully you'll be there too. It's a wonderful event, and that's coming up this weekend as well. So we got spring training. We got March Madness. You know, there you go. Why don't we bring you in for March Madness?
March Madness, okay.
Which is going to be coming in. And
yeah,
that starts in a few weeks.
Also, we have the Women's Final Four.
In Tampa, right?
In Tampa, April 4th and April 6th. It's a Friday and a Sunday. So yeah, we have the Women's Final Four. That's a big deal.
That'll be fun.
It's the 4th time this event's been here. So no other city in the country's had it 4 times.
And that'll be at Amalie, right?
Amalie,
yeah. So there you go. So yeah, we'll have a call back in a few weeks when we start talking about March Madness. Early predictions at 4 number 1 seeds. I will give you mine. Yeah. I will say Duke. I'm not going to go out on the limb. I will say Duke, Auburn. I'm going to go Houston.
Yeah.
And I might go the Gators.
2 SEC.
I might
SEC
go.
is so loaded.
They lost yesterday to Georgia, but I'll tell you, I love the way the Gators have been playing. And it's not because I have 2 Gators and my other son who might go to UF in a year or two. And Alex Condon came back yesterday, and they did lose to Georgia. They actually were down by 15-20 the whole game. They came back and took the lead with a minute left, and then Georgia got them at the end to beat them. But I have a feeling, so those are my 4: Houston, Duke, the Gators, and Auburn. And what about you?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go Auburn, Duke. I don't know if I'll put the Gators in there. I don't know.
I get it.
Gosh. You'll have to come back to me. I want to see the bracket. I want to see the bracket. I can't just think. A lot of things are going to change once conference. I mean, Alabama's good too. I mean,
they are, but Auburn.
Alabama can score.
And by the way, what did the Gators do at Auburn? The Gators whooped up at Auburn a couple weeks ago. That was a big, big win for them. The SEC is loaded. Yeah. I mean, the ACC is horrible. You know who's a sleeper? I'll give you a sleeper. St. John's. Just remember, St. John's with Rick Pitino as their head coach, they have been playing great basketball. In fact, they play tonight, I think. In fact, they're playing right now. I think St. John's might be a sleeper in this tournament. So we'll come back in a couple of weeks and
have your brackets ready to fill out. We'll do a deep dive.
Yeah, we will give you all that you need to know to make lots of money now I'm curious if St. John's is winning. Let's see. So Michigan State's beating Maryland.
Sneaky. If they're good, Michigan State's the one to look out for because they always seem to.
They are. They can't shoot the three this year though. They're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in college basketball. Not that I follow hoops at all. Auburn's up by 14 over Ole Miss. And St. John's plays Butler at Butler. That was a spot that I think a lot of people like Butler. I don't think so. I think St. John's rolls. So there you go. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night live at the Strawberry Festival. So I'll be back here driving back to Plant City a little bit late. We'll talk more weather. But tonight was fun. Thanks to Tara. Thanks to Danny. Thanks to Kyle. And we'll be back on our next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. You guys have a great night. Thanks.